and I think I blacked out.
Duane Martin and Tisha Campbell may be divorced, but from the looks of things, he's far from over her. And since he can't get her for obvious reasons, it seems like he's settling for the next best thing. His new fiancée, who looks a lot like Tisha. But that's not even the craziest thing he's doing. You are seriously not gonna believe this. Dwayne announced his engagement to model Ashley Marie Jones at the start of this year. And what caught the attention of a lot of people was how similar Ashley looked to Tisha. If you didn't know who the two women were, you'd think that they were actually related. Ashley honestly looks like a replica of Tisha when she was younger. And Dwayne's decision to not just date her, but also get engaged to her, led everyone to believe that he has a type. And his type is Tisha. Unfortunately, he and Tisha are never going to work again, as he messed up very badly with her and almost ruined her life. Now, word around the street is that Tisha is trying to pull one over Dwayne by exposing his secret life. Let me explain. Tisha and Dwayne were married for over 20 years before they announced their divorce in 2018. According to a source close to them, this wasn't a decision that was easy to make, but they couldn't keep denying the elephant in the room. And that was the fact that their marriage wasn't working anymore. Now, initially, we thought that it was because Duane and Tisha had fallen out of love with one another. After all, that's the reason most couples give for their divorce. But then Tisha came out to reveal all the harm that she went through while married to Dwayne. However, one piece of information she didn't divulge was that Dwayne was apparently bi, and everyone started to see it 3 years after their divorce when he found himself in the middle of a major scandal. It all started after Will Smith's best friend and former assistant, Brother Bilal, said that he walked in on Will and Dwayne being intimate with each other, if you know what I mean. According to him, he walked into Dwayne's dressing room for what was supposed to be a meeting between Will and Dwayne. But instead, he found Will bent over a couch with Dwayne behind him. And you can fill in the rest yourself. Brother Bilal also alleged that Will tried to get him to sign an NDA because of what he saw, but he refused and took the opportunity to just disappear. After Brother Bilal's interview, Will's representative came out to deny everything that was said about him. They claimed that Brother Bilal's story was completely fabricated and false. And then Jada Pinkett Smith also came out to support her husband. According to her, what Brother Bilal said was completely ridiculous and nonsense. She tried to make it look like he said all that because he wanted to extort Will. Then she said that she'd take legal action against Brother Bilal because it's one thing to have your opinion about someone, but it's another thing to spread hurtful things about them. This was extremely interesting, especially because Brother Bilal wasn't the only person to accuse Will of being gay. Jaguar Wright said the same thing. And she didn't just talk about Will, she brought Jada into it too. According to Jaguar, Will and Jada are a bi couple that lures young guys into their homes. They pretend that they're going to help their careers, and then, when they're through with them, they kick them out. And we all know what they say about rumors. There's always an element of truth in them. As for what Dwayne had to say about all of this, well, he said nothing at all. A source close to Dwayne even came out to say that Dwayne had no intention whatsoever of responding to whatever Brother Bilal said about him and Will because his accusations were just too ridiculous. This was strange because Dwayne is not one to back away from a challenge, especially one he knows he can win. So does that mean that this was something he knew he wouldn't be able to get himself out of? After all, this wasn't the first time allegations about Dwayne and Will having a secret relationship were spread. Back in 2012, Star Magazine hinted at a secret romance between them. At the time, Tisha, who was still married to Dwayne, came online to defend them and slammed their critics. She made a tweet talking about how she was tired of the media attacking the Smiths because they are an amazing couple, and she wished people would stop spreading lies and leave them alone. But now, the story is a little bit different. Will isn't the only guy that Dwayne has been accused of having a relationship with. Dwayne's former co-star, LisaRaye McCoy, dropped a bombshell about how Dwayne stole her husband from her. LisaRaye and Dwayne go way back to the early 2000s, but in 2019, she did a shocking interview where she revealed that she lost her husband to Dwayne, who she thought was one of her best friends. According to her, after introducing Dwayne to her then husband, Michael Missick, they grew so close that she lost her husband to him. She also alleged that Dwayne disrespected her and her marriage by encouraging her politician husband to be unfaithful to her with both men and women. LisaRaye and Michael got married in 2006, and she had to put her acting career on hold just so she could focus on her full-time job as the First Lady of Turks and Caicos. LisaRaye was open about how leaving her friends and family was hard for her. And because of this, she found it difficult to adjust to her new life. And her husband traveling for days and sometimes weeks at a time made things even harder for her. So, to stop herself from being homesick, she decided to invite her close friend Dwayne to spend some time with her. This was single-handedly the worst decision she had ever made in her life. After Dwayne met her husband, he allegedly turned into someone else. Dwayne started introducing her husband to different men and women, and it didn't make any sense to her. She brought him there to help her cope, but there he went, ruining her marriage. LisaRaye's mentor and close friend even spoke on the situation, saying that Dwayne was someone LisaRaye trusted so much that he was like a brother to her. But he did her dirty, and that's something they couldn't wrap their fingers around. At the end of the day, LisaRaye's marriage only ended up lasting for 2 years, and in 2008, she and Michael went their separate ways, and Dwayne lost nothing in all of this. Now, he's gearing up to get married again, but will this time be any different? Is this marriage actually gonna work out? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below.